Alright bozos, so as we reach the end of spooky months and we prep ourselves to put up Christmas decorations as if Thanksgiving doesn't even exist, there are also some notable things that occurred throughout this month that have served a big impact within today's music scene. And no, I'm not talking about Drake's birthday. I believe academics already did all the dick riding for that one. I'm talking about the 9-year anniversary of one of, if not the best hip hop albums of the 2010s, Good Kid Maad City by Kendrick Lamar. Now this album sits on a pretty high pedestal for me, being one of my most favorite albums of all time, and what really put me on to Kendrick Lamar back in 2012 when playing my Xbox and having this album run in the background while getting called the N-word in the COD lobbies.
Plus your little try-hard pistol in this like a little pussy riding around with a fucking vagina on your ass.
Whoa, vagina in my ass, that doesn't even work.
So after listening to it now and still seeing it chart for 9 years straight on the Billboard 200, just shows me how I don't think I've heard a more complete album than this one, with this becoming a cult classic not just amongst Kendrick fans, but amongst the entire hip hop fan base as a whole. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to know where to start with this album because there's so many notable subjects associated with this project, such as the narration between tracks from Kendrick's mother and father, or the level of storytelling within this album that depicts the lives of either the people he encountered or his own experiences when coming up in the world. But I guess I gotta start somewhere, right? So as stated before, this album was the main jumpstart towards Kendrick's mainstream appeal, with songs such as Swimming Pools and Poetic Justice being played all over the radio waves back then. But I would say the songs that really caught my attention would have to be Backseat Freestyle, Sing About Me I'm Dying of Thirst, and Money Trees. This album is sprinkled with quick fire Kendrick bars and high energy to express Kendrick's feelings, but Backseat Freestyle is just such a hard hitting track with production from Hit Boy, making this a top tier track about personal desires in one's life. Sing About Me is a very heavy song about the death of a family member and getting revenge, and a story of a woman's perspective on trying to get by in the world by any means necessary. With assistance from Mary J. Blige, this track is just such a sad and hard-hitting feel for Kendrick fans, which is why this is just such a cult classic. But as for Money Trees, this is by far my most favorite Kendrick Lamar song of all time. With help from longtime collaborator and friend J. Rock, Kendrick just goes for this simple flow about reflection, whether it be having sex with his previous love interest, or the death of his uncle, or even him being attacked recently. And at the end of the song, his parents are just back to talking about how Kendrick hasn't returned with the car all this time, showing how he's just been riding around and reflecting on his life and the decisions that he's made. But just because I described these few tracks that have stuck with me, doesn't deter from the hard-hitting or chill tracks that have equally impactful storytelling. The production on this album is incredible as well, with notable faces such as DJ Dahi, Hit Boy, Pharrell, Soundwave, and many more jumping in to help curate and dish out such an incredible project. The track Poetic Justice has this Janet Jackson sample with these R&B waves alongside this nice Drake feature that makes such a solid piece of work. Or even with the track Real featuring Anna Wise having this K-Tronada style, funky beat that works with Anna Wise's vocals for something incredible. But as I could pick apart and dissect this album as much as I want to, I also don't want to drag this out because your boy has a short attention span and I don't want to have to bore myself even making this video.
Boy, if you don't.
But overall, this album, even 9 years into the future, is still a wonderful piece of work from one of the most notable rappers in today's hip hop. So to put this on a scale, because technically this is still an album review, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. Even if I were to look and pick out some lows on this project, it's not much to deter from the fact that I still think this album was really a hit all throughout. And then just to follow up with another 10 out of 10 album 3 years later truly shows how much work ethic is put towards Kendrick's music. But how do you guys feel about Good Kid Maad City? Do you still listen to it to this day? If so, what's your favorite song? Let me know down in the comments while liking and subscribing to the channel. Make sure to follow my IG and Twitter. And if you like the illustrations used in this video, make sure to follow the artist as well because she's dope. And on that note, I'll see you on Friday for another album review. Peace.